live streaming. Start soon. We're good. Some tech issues, sort them out, of course. And we are ready, commissioners?
Sounds good. We'll call the Italian Village Commissioner meeting to order for today, March 11th, 2025, 4 p.m. Our next business meeting will be Tuesday, March 25th, 2025 at noon at 111 Front Street, second floor, room 205. And next month's hearing will be Tuesday, April 8th, 2025 at 4 p.m. at 111 Front Street, second floor, room 204. Staff, would you raise your right hand and state your name for the record?
Of course, Morgan Graff.
And you must tell the truth, best your ability this afternoon.
Yes, I do.
Excellent. Let's introduce everybody. We'll just start again.
Roland Trott, Shannon Fergus.
Jason Suey. One seat, one.
Oh, yeah, we spread them out, but.
All right. Do we have a public forum?
We do not go through.
Excellent. Let's do the approval of staff approvals, which start on page 3, looks like. All right, so I have a motion for staff approved applications
So moved.
and second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, and we'll go to for extensions. 90 Fifth Avenue, 57 Hall Alley, 607 North High Streets, 1144 North High Streets, 608 North High. That's it. Anybody in the extensions? I'm going to. All right, now, and remember for a change, let's have a motion on the meeting minutes for February 2021.
So moved to approve the minutes.
Excellent. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Meeting minutes are approved. All right, staff, anything else we need to know before we dive into the applications?
No, not entirely. The only item that was moved to staff approval was COA 25-00160 for 608 North High Street. That was number 4
Yep.
on the agenda, so we made 3 for.
It's all great. Okay, so let's get rolling then. 958 High Street, that's COA 2400642. Do you have anybody from 958 High Street? Yep. Fun. Get you sworn in here in a second. You want to have a seat? So if you raise your right hand and state your name for the record,
Scott Malley?
and you must tell the truth, your testimony to the best of your ability this afternoon.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, we'll have staff go and priority.
So for 958 North High Street, this is to remove existing black awning from left side of storefront, install 8-foot by 11-foot nano wall folding doors, black finish and 2 interior storefront openings, knee walls to remain. Install 36-inch tube steel handrail to match existing handrail on left side of the storefront. New patio space to extend 8 feet 1 inch from the storefront into sidewalk area. Existing header and transom windows to remain, and signage is not included in the application at this time. Property was previously reviewed or received approval in October to install a new exhaust duct for the back of the building and attach a fan to the roof of the structure. I have included the minutes for February 11th. If the commission would like me to review those at this time.
Anybody need the minutes from last meeting?
All right, so at the March business meeting, commissioners made the following statements. Commissioners appreciate the change to maintain the existing knee walls and to replace the 2 storefronts with nano walls. Commissioners asked for the reasoning of only proposing 2 instead of all 4 storefront openings. Commissioners would be in support of all openings being replaced into nano walls, but it would not be a requirement. And they requested applicant to submit a more detailed section drawing with description of the additional reinforcement needed for the knee wall or header to show if the load will be carried from the transom or the knee wall. Applicant has submitted updated drawings that has included the section for the knee wall. So we recommend to approve application COA 24-00642 as submitted with clarifications to be submitted to HBO staff for review and approval prior to issuance of certificate. And the basis of staff rec is 31-1611, standards for alteration, as well as short roof design guidelines, commercial storefronts, and commercial patios and outdoor dining.
Okay, great. What would you like to add?
Nothing.
Fair enough. You don't. Okay. Before we make any kind of other discussion, I definitely want to get in the record a couple things. One that, we were very particular that we wanted to maintain the existing wall, which the applicant has done. Also that we had a discussion about the dam walls. While if he, it looks like they're choosing only open two, we chose a symmetrical option, in order to, try to, I don't know, be a little thoughtful about what's going to replace the original storefront. And I think there's any other specifics about that. But with that, I'll turn it over. What do you think?
I don't know that.
Okay.
Just want to make sure that Joe is okay with the new section and that just structurally it seems. Stable.
I think the big thing for me is just making sure that the see from the inside isn't good as well, but if it's not showing very much, so I might do. True.
So, one other thing I did want to mention as well, just for purposes of the site plan, that the extended patio is due to the fact that the sidewalk actually extends to that location. So just, just to it's clear that we are advocating for a significant width of clear space in front of all these. And the reason why that was proposed, but we can still
Yes,
accessible,
yes.
which I think is a goal we're not shooting at.
Yeah, because the commissioners from the last month's hearing, the reasoning, like the support proposed size was a 10-foot sidewalk space between the patio. And the 7-foot that was approved previously on the other side, between the patio space was the absolute minimum that commission approved.
Yeah.
So I can requote the statement from it.
All right, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved. We, sorry, I'm pulling your staff report off my phone because it's not the thing. So,
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, it's totally fine. This is the one where we do want one revised detailed section drawing still.
So we received information yesterday, so when we did the staff report and finalized it, so
Okay.
we're adjusting this, staff report to say that we approve what's been submitted. Since the detail was not submitted at the time, if we did this staff report.
Okay. Well, then
If that explains.
Then just to approve, application COA 2400642, as submitted.
Okay, do we have a second? All in favor? Great, thanks a lot. Looking forward to it.
Great, thank you. All right.
If it meets all the criteria, anyone name them?
All right, I'll be back for the sign.
So number 2 is 7 Brickell Street. 7 Brickell Street. This is COA 25001. All right, gentlemen, if you'll both read the right, that's the most good sworn in, say your name and record.
Sure. Ryan Crosley. Jake Avatisian.
Still true in your, testimony to the best of your ability this afternoon.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, great. Steph? Okay.
Proposed work description is to install a 6-foot tall black metal fence in, I did say same footprint, it is a little adjusted footprint from what was previously approved for the fencing and screening of the property under COA IV 2204006. Current fencing is revised from previously approved metal frame with horizontal wood flag. Fence installed is a Mills Fence Company Elecon Series steel tube panels colored black. Application is in response to a code violation due to the installation of unapproved fence design as well as installing the fencing under an expired COA. Property originally received approval for the current 2nd floor metal deck at grade concrete slab and concrete retaining wall at the April 2022 hearing. Approval also includes location of a dumpster behind horizontal wood slat fence within steel framing at the past April 2022 hearing under COA IV 2204006. The sizing and configuration of fence was originally approved to be installed behind the first window on the side of the building with a double gate to access a dumpster. Property returned in June 2023 for revision to the stairs for the 2nd floor deck. The revision was approved under COA IV 2306006 for the stairs to include a landing in order to avoid existing electrical panels. which will result push the entry to the steps closer to the front of the building and sidewalk. But at the March business meeting, commissioners asked staff what's their take on the installed fencing. HBO staff's concern would be with the tube steel installed, since there has been concern in the past by the commission for use of tube aluminum steel installed in past of other locations, and the product not being as durable as so close to the road, just from past applications that we've seen for the material. They asked applicant to clarify what is the use on the grade level within the fenced area. Staff asked applicant to clarify to meeting. Applicant stated that the use is for utilities, but the reasoning for installation is for, trespassers and to maintain safety within the area. Commissioners requested more context photos of the area. HBO staff noted commissioners that the layout of the fence has slightly changed from previous approval, where the fence gates facing Brickell have been closer to the street sidewalk than was previously approved. It would recommend setting it back in previous approved location. They stated that a solution might be to push back fencing to be where the previously approved fencing was approved to be installed. Too many approved in that, apologies. They asked applicant to provide a more detailed revised site plan than what has been provided to show the building, columns, sidewalk, and road. They requested to include the size of the sidewalk in front of the fencing to see the relation between sidewalk and where the fencing is currently placed. Since there are 2 gates included, it would assist to see how the opening of the gates interact with the size of the sidewalks as well. Applicant has submitted revised materials, which include the letter in response to commissioners' feedbacks. Letter answers commissioner questions stated during the March business meeting. For the setback of the fence, applicant stated that the fence cannot be set back any further due to the location of the stairs. Any further setback would result in fence gate being installed on the stairs, which poses a safety hazard and would be unsightly, as well as the location of the electric panel, windows, and utilities on the wall in the way. For the sizing of the sidewalk and gates, the sidewalk space between the fence and Brickell is currently 4 feet, with 2 gates being 4 feet in width as well. Staff recommends to approve application as submitted with any all clarifications to be submitted to HBO staff for review and approval with the following conditions: for fence to be installed in previously approved fencing location, or to push the fence back or fence facing Brickell back slightly further from the facade of the building, just to kind of give like a setback from the face. Basis of staff rec is 311613, standard for site improvements. That's all.
Okay, sounds good. Okay.
Yeah, thank you for having us back. So our challenge here, and as you'll recall, our client, the owner, who's very attentive to this building, very invested in this building, was here previously to have the new stair location approved, thought that they were doing what was approved. They were unaware, unfortunately, that their prior certificate had expired, and were also unfortunately not aware of the exact location that it should have been installed. So that was our error, their error. But the challenge with the location of this staircase, as you can see in exhibits C and D, is that it exits right almost to the edge of the building. And so I don't know if the commissioners had a chance to walk Brickell or not, but the pictures that we submitted show that there is really minimal space between that bottom stair and the existing fence location. And you have, as you mentioned, previously approved the modified staircase there. So the challenge in moving that fence back would be that it would need to land somewhere on that staircase, which our client believes would be less safe than the application that you see there. Moving it out further would further obstruct the 4-foot sidewalk. And so there's a lot going on in this little space here, and trying to do the best that we can. Our client and their fence contractor thought that this was the appropriate location for the fence. So moving the stairs would be really, yeah, that's our challenge is either keep it where it is, or potentially remove it. If we remove it, we're back to where we were with visitors, trespassers, homeless folks congregating, because it is a covered, sheltered area there. There is some shelter from the elements under there.
So a question for you. the reason we're in this situation is due to the fact that we just had some unfortunate circumstances with this material when it's literally adjacent, as yours is, to a public right of way. So is there an option where you'd consider just replacing those bolt-on panels on a portion with, more robust material that was a solid steel? Because I think if you would do that, I'm fine with it.
Okay. Yeah.
It's really, the problem is that we've already rejected other folks that have come in for this exact circumstance. Well, if they're set back behind a tree row or something, it's fine.
Understood.
So I just feel uncomfortable if this would be in a circumstance where it's the narrowest of sidewalks. And
Sure.
I do also think it would be beneficial to you because we've just seen it so many times, like, a drunk person falls into one of these and they can actually bend several of those as opposed to an actual
Sure.
steel fence. So
Would your staff have the material specs for us that we could take back to our client contractor?
Yeah, so approved materials for fencing is typically wood fencing, wood paneling. Something that was approved previously for the horizontal, that could be something to be considered. Or iron, yeah. Yep. Yeah, for iron.
Iron.
Yeah, I would be preferred.
Or in, yes.
So, I was going down the list, guys, sorry, but yes. for iron.
Honestly, I'm flexible on gate. Does that match? But I can understand from a functional standpoint, I can be flexible on that. I think you're probably gonna have to end up replacing the gate several times just where it is and how it's gonna be used. So, I mean, for me, I think we just replace those several panels. I know it's feeling a little arbitrary. It just really helps us as far as setting for other fences in the neighborhood. That's my take, but let's roll down that alley.
Yeah, I mean, the other, it irks me, the style irks me a little, like it's not the Mr. Architect, so we want this. But then, yeah, like that's not in the style of the village, it's more Victorian village. And we would not have approved that. But I think we can kind of like get beyond that. It's iron. I truly, the last time we tried this material on Fifth and Summit. I don't know, I guess. But it instantly, I mean, before the restaurant even opened, the fence got onto the red car and they did iron. So I know you're like, wow, no one ever hit that, but here in Columbus, lots of cars go through lots of. Very special doing that. So I would agree. I think that the location is fine. I'm looking at these pictures and I can see, what you mean by putting it right under the stair would be difficult. And I think at this point, there's really no reason for us to make that. Like, we probably would have approved this location for the fence as well anyway. So it really is the material at this point.
Yes. Is this an exit stair?
It is for the second, so there's do we have a picture? I think there's a balcony above that exits to this point. And it's a secondary egress point.
One of my concerns, you look at one photo, like in exhibit C and exhibit D, and it looks like it's a foot away. And then you look at another one and it looks like it's the D right, but there's gotta be some kind of.
There's I don't mean to interrupt you. There's it's not 3 feet. I thought we had that dimension.
The architectural drawing, it doesn't have a dimension, at least I didn't see it.
Site plan
Yeah,
itself.
that's what you're talking about.
That, this is the one we talked about, but might have a dimension.
I thought I had a real life.
Yeah, it's in the photo. It's all that.
But in some of them, it looks so close and I
It's a
So I
picture.
think the issue wrong is the stairs, well, the way it's built, in fact, putting out. A couple plates.
I didn't hear the first part. I'm sorry.
So I was drawing the last or the first step on that stair. It's flush with that column.
I see.
Since
It does go beyond yes, the side view.
It's more like, I don't think that we should approve that. It's not meeting exit requirements, but if, because you always have to have two means of egress, and they have to meet in both. So, the only thing that we could see that we could do to make that work is to turn the stair at the bottom. But, that's why we asked for dimensions. And you gave us dimensions in one direction, but we didn't get them from the fence to the stair.
Yeah, I thought we,
Whatever, through whatever we fence.
Yeah, we guys, Bill, so.
With this drawing that's been submitted, this was the original approval of where the stair was originally located. The original plan of the location of the stair and the fence. With, the additional space between that, the building, and then the sidewalk. The approval for the new landing of the stair did not have a site plan at the time. And with that being approved to extend out, there was still the intent of the fence being where it was originally approved at that time. So, I don't believe the site plan is from the original approval and it does not appear to reflect what's currently right there right now.
It doesn't reflect what's built.
Yes, yes.
So, going through issue.
Yeah.
I think it's what you're getting at, Carl.
Yes.
There's a lack of somebody coming downstairs to operate the day.
And the drawings that would have been submitted to code would have been the previous approval with the fence being behind the stair and what's currently issued with what's been installed. If that
And
makes
so the one thing I will say, if we could, we want to try and match whatever we can. Facilitate proper building code at the same time, we don't really actually have the ability to review that, so we could just point out that it's subject to them actually being.
It's a bigger load. Review this after we review it.
That's a great question.
Code enforcement, I'm sure they.
Building code won't let them do it, that's.
Yeah, I mean, we'll review it to make sure everything's been completed, I guess. For the code portion of building code, I'm not quite sure, but that would be from the code officer that would be covered.
I'm not sure we can apply for material on building code, but I think we're looking at.
Yeah.
Aesthetic.
Yeah.
So for me, we know there's an issue, but I'm not sure we can go with it.
Yeah, and that could be an issue or a situation where we do review the design, it goes, through code officer finalizes it. Talk to building code about it. If there's some issue, you guys can always come back for any change in the design with us or through staff or something like that. That might be an option just to make sure everything's up to code.
Yeah, if they say that, this not a thing of planning and you can't do this, then we'll have to come up with a different then. I don't know what the answer is.
understand.
So,
Yeah.
I don't think we should vote or not vote on based on whether I think it needs to
Yeah.
be different.
Agreed. Yeah.
That's not, we don't have the expertise to say,
Yeah, that's what the development commission, like their own.
Yeah.
But if I didn't bring it up, it would never bring it up.
well, they're still gonna have to, I mean, this is still.
It should go to the building department after it goes through us. It's typically what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. So it goes to the different stuff.
Yeah, I'm sympathetic to what you're saying, I just don't think we can't have an expertise, you don't have the expertise to say for sure whether or not that's allowed.
I just want to make sure that there is not an unsafe, this is unfortunate. You guys we're not happy. Things weren't built the way they were supposed to be built, but it is a really small space to come down. And we don't know if it's attached to the roof and all those other things, so I don't know, I'm a little bit uneasy. Proving this,
Outside of the code violation or potential issue, I would argue that we probably want to have that around the quarter one day.
That makes sense for important. The different materials.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the wrought iron or
Yeah.
steel, whatever the chosen materials.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mr. Berardi, could you repeat that? You said wrap around one bay? Is that what you said?
Or just
Okay.
when they are, yeah, so.
Yeah, one of the bolts on
This
houses.
was from that to this post here.
Okay, understood.
I think it won't just happen.
Yeah, that's, yeah. That's interesting. What do you think?
No comment on this.
So for you, is the purpose of the material seem like a solution that you could live with?
Yeah, I think so. We need to review this with our client.
Sure.
So, would we just,
We can either continue it or we can approve it with that, move to approve it with that stipulation based on the fact that you would have to meet one of the approved materials according to staff.
okay,
So
I think that's what,
Yeah, I mean, your option works, you have to look, again, yeah, what you're comfortable with the client.
okay. Yes, thank you. And we apologize for having this constructed in a manner that was not consistent with your board's approval. That was
Yeah, we understand.
That was not my client's intention.
Circumstances is not a typical. Like I said, it's kind of weird. It's a weird one when you get counted. So which action would you like? You can request continuance or we can take a motion.
I think we'd ask for you to consider a motion.
Okay. Yeah.
Please.
All right, sounds good. So we want to make a motion on this one?
Yeah,
No, he's got to wait it.
through COA 2500116, based on the permission, given that fence material facing Brickell and one corner, is changed to the improved materials within the guidelines.
And then could you make the final design? First half review stuff.
Yeah, final design to be revised staff.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Okay.
Opposed?
I,
Okay, so just one against, yes, 10 abstentions. All right, motion carries. Thank you, staff. All right, thanks a lot. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
And then we will
Follow up
know.
on that. Oh, yeah. And we'll make that note, in our email and letters, you guys.
There we go.
and it should have said, I think that we belongs, showing
Right. We want to add revised drawings into, the condition for the approval as well, for the site plan. Yeah, okay,
Motion maker.
yes, that's what.
Yes. All right, thanks a lot.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, number 3, 851 North 4th Street, 851 North 4th Street, yes, COA 2500116. Hello, how are you doing?
Good, and you?
Great, can you raise your right hand and state the name of the record?
Angelica Quesada.
And you must tell the truth to the best of your ability in your testimony, etc.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, we'll have staff go. All right, staff, what do you have?
So proposed work description is to install 3 transom window decal signs on front elevation facing forth. 2 signs to be 16-inch by 32-inch, saying brunch, coffee, and dinner's margaritas. And 1 sign to be 16-inch by 48-inch, saying El Cargilo, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, Mexican Back Cafe and Bar. Applicant was recently approved under COA 25-00041 to maintain 2 door decal signage stating the restaurant's name. Applicant has since removed the 2 door decals that were installed previous to approval. The March business meeting, the commissioners made the following statements and recommendations. They requested applicant to provide reasoning of the proposed window decal instead of the use of other traditional signage such as blade sign or wall sign. Commissioners state that the current sizing for the business name is much smaller than the other proposed transom decal signs. And they would strongly encourage applicant to consider installing a blade sign or wall sign for this location instead of the proposed decal for business signage. Since 4th Street is such a busy, active street, a blade sign may be better to assist since it will stick out. They recommended looking at businesses along the street as well as across the street It could be a simple blade sign that is not illuminated. Applicant has responded to commissioners' feedback. The applicant stated that they do not have the necessary funds at this time to hire a company to install a blade sign or wall sign, but would like to install a blade sign themselves that would be similar to their neighbors. We informed applicant that they would like to pursue installation themselves. The sign design would still need a COA application submitted in order for IBC staff and commission to review and receive approval prior to installation of the blade sign. Staff recommends the following two options: to continue application, to allow applicant time to revise signage materials, to propose a blade sign design instead of the proposed decals, or to approve application as submitted with clarifications to be submitted to HBO staff for review and approval prior to issuance with the following conditions: to reduce the size of the window decals saying brunch coffee and dinner margaritas to be smaller in size than the proposed business name, and to switch margaritas to cocktails as seen on past signage window decal approvals. Basis for staff rec is short form design guidelines, page 3.37 to 3.41. And that is all.
Sounds good. What would you like to tell us?
We are still working on getting the funds to work on getting a proposal for the blade sign. And we would like to ask permission to have the decals following the site specifications that are recommended and changing margaritas to cocktails if that's possible.
Yeah, so a couple things. One, I think, that overall, if you can just make the LRIO as big as you can,
Okay.
and then make all the other words some smaller size. So like the size that it says margaritas now might be a good size to make brunch coffee and dinner.
Okay.
So that those are not bigger than the sign.
Okay.
So I think that's one of the title right on here. So I go here all the time. And I think one of the challenges that you have, and this happened to me, I'm not even kidding you, I was going there last week, is we're standing on the other side of the railroad waiting across. And two people were standing there saying, "What is that?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, that's a restaurant." And they said, "Oh, it is? Yeah, it's Mexican. You should go there." So I think that, I understand the expense. I would highly recommend that you figure out some way to get something that sticks out from the building or a sign on the other side. It doesn't have to be a fancy sign. It could be a very basic sign. You can work with staff to find the materials, just that says that their name and Mexican restaurant, Mexican cafe. Just some way. Because I want
To get the attention,
so
yeah.
I'm afraid that with this signage, like no one is gonna see the name of that who's driving because they're going the wrong way. And then only the people walking in it's even that. So whatever you can do, even if it's not, it doesn't have to be fancy and expensive, just something
Okay.
that you can put that sticks out. You can see the Johnsons right across. the
Yeah.
street, exactly like that, except with your logo on it. And I know it's not free, however, it's not compared to a lot of signs, it's not that much. So I would really, really think about that.
Yes.
And then you also have that wall that you know that you can think about putting something really simple on it too.
On the brick.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to make sure it met the standards. However, there's plenty of signs like that you could get. Down
Okay.
as you're driving down the street. So you just really great location where you can see.
Okay.
I definitely recommend it. I mean, brunch, coffee, dinner, margaritas is fine, but the El Carrillo Mexican cafe and bar, like that's what people need to see.
Yes.
They'll know what you are. It's great what you got. However,
Thank
you know they model without it.
Yeah. I like
So, hey,
it.
that's, that, I think I have no problem doing this for now. I just think the quicker you can do that.
Okay.
Well, we have the decals, if you look at Ormade and at their stations, they have those decals on their brick. on the
Yeah.
side. And That's what.
Yeah.
Okay. For the sidewall brick. Okay.
Yeah, so you can work with staff and get that approved, and it's not super expensive, and you just have to have it be in the right size, and just, you have all kinds of stuff on there, it just has to be like your name, your logo.
Okay.
So,
I will say for, blade sign, a typical standard blade sign, that's something we can staff approve. A wall sign would still need to come from commission, even if the gathering rate just,
yeah, if you need more information, just, you can talk to Morgan, she can give you the dimensions that it need to be, and then you can just talk to somebody and just get them to. I mean, it's
Okay.
pretty straightforward.
Perfect. Yeah, I think she sent them to me. Oh, right. And the letter feedback. I'll check.
Yeah, I was like, I think so. If not, then I can just, send it to you.
Okay. Thank you.
That
Mhm.
should be very expensive at all, you put on the wall, and then you can change it, also a little more expensive, but not super expensive. And that's all you need, it'd be awesome. So anyway, for me, if you agree to just make this, those words smaller and the LCR bigger, then I'm good with what it is, so that's down.
Yes.
Now, the LCR is some kind of drink, right?
Yes, it's a coffee drink with alcohol. So we mixed, yeah.
So when they're requested.
Specialty drink.
Okay, well, thank you for coming in, and so you agree to those stipulations, can I have a motion there?
Move to approve application.
It's COA 25-00116.
With the stipulation that, that the El Carrito, gets kind of as large as possible, and then brunch, coffee, dinner, cocktails get a little bit smaller than the El Carrito,
And I will add for revised drawings to be, submitted to staff.
Yes, I'll get them over.
margaritas.
Yeah, it's much smaller there. If there's it's bigger, would be great.
Perfect.
And then good luck.
Yes.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, can I have a second? All in favor?
I
Any opposed? Great, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see what else we have here.
That is it for applications, but you do have a new business that Commissioner.
Very business.
Yes. We do have a new business item. This is just for Commissioner, Chair, and Vice Chair elections. This is supposed to be done in January. I missed the January, but then, yeah, attendance, we were also a little low last month, so we do have 5. If we would like to do that today, we can.
That's up to you. I mean, we keep pushing that.
I mean, Paige will be returning, she'll be returning for the next business meeting. So she will be back, if we would like to maybe push it off 1 more month, but, we can just go ahead if we would like to today, depending on. Next business meeting, I think is March 25th, I think.
Oh, yeah, and I'm getting married like 2 days before that.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's exciting. I think we should just.
Okay.
Paige is so nice,
Are you trying to get her to be in one of the chairs? The process is pretty much just who the commissioners agree to be chair or vice chair, and just voting on it, one by one. If you want to continue to be chair for the year, Jason, just have the rest of the commissioners vote on it. Shannon, if you'd like to continue, or if someone else would like to throw their hat in the ring, this is.
Anybody else want to do?
I think you guys are doing what you can.
And 1 more year?
Yeah.
So we make a motion and we'll vote.
And we have to do one at a time.
We can do both, it'll be fine, yeah, since we agreed on it very quickly.
I'll make a motion to continue with Commissioner Sudi as chair and Commissioner Furtis as vice chair.
Yes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, and that is it. Thank you, guys.
Why, I'm coming to the end of it. I'm coming to the end of my chairmanship, so I got a feeling. Oh, more.
It's gonna be a slight warning, everyone.
So, anything else? Anybody? Okay, do I have a move to adjourn?
So.
And second? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.
Awesome, thank you all. We're